Hey, in today's video, we're talking about FEGLI. All you need to know about FEGLI. How is it factored? Is it cheap or expensive? Does it depend on what age you are? Are there better options out there? All of this coming up next. Hey, this is Mel Stubbs. I'm a financial planner at Christy Capital Management, where we work with federal employees to help them retire better. If you want to talk to us about having us help you with your retirement planning, click right up here. Today we're talking about FEGLI life insurance. We're going to go over some of the basics of FEGLI and then jump over to the computer to go over the FEGLI Calculator to look up an example of what the cost would be inside of FEGLI, and then also look at some term life insurance quotes from a company on the outside, just to see what those prices look like. For this video, the insurance company I'm using is not important. I'm just trying to show you what outside coverage could be. So let's go over some of the basics of FEGLI life insurance. The basic benefit is your annual salary rounded up to the next $1,000, and then they add $2,000 on top of that. So you can see here a $71,285 salary would actually be $74,000 worth of benefit. If you're under the age of 45, there are some extra coverages that go away once you reach the age 45. So that's the basic. You have option A. This is an additional $10,000 of coverage. You then have option B. And this is where you can get either 1 times your salary, 2 times, 3, all the way up to 5 times your salary. And so if you have a whole bunch of FEGLI life insurance, you have a whole bunch of option B. And then option C is for your family. You can have a maximum of $25,000 for your spouse or up to $12,500 for each child. And when you move into retirement, you can bring FEGLI with you into retirement as long as you retire on an immediate annuity and you were insured at your retirement and you were enrolled at least 5 years prior to retirement. What happens with the cost when you retire? Well, that's the thing. So option B, this is the most expensive piece of it. And even while working, every 5 years, it starts getting more expensive. So you can see at age 50, it goes up, age 55, it goes up. And then in this example, we're showing somebody retiring at age 60 and FEGLI just skyrockets at retirement because not only does option B continue to raise every 5 years, but now the basic, which is been pretty affordable all along, also goes up at retirement. So let's talk over some action items. The first one is to figure out how much you need. Do you need life insurance? Do you have other life insurance? Do you have so much in your TSP that you feel like you don't need it? Just any of it. So number one, you need to figure out the coverage you need and then figure out, do you want to replace some of the survivor benefit with life insurance? And so when we talk FEGLI and how you could replace FEGLI with term insurance. And so we're going to show you some options and some general prices later. But you also have the survivor benefit decision at retirement. The survivor benefit is where when you die, once retired, a portion of your pension is going to be left, potentially to your surviving spouse, for instance. So you can choose to replace some of that benefit with life insurance, and we've got lots of videos on YouTube on that topic. And then number 3, get a quote from a professional who knows your federal system, and as a shameless plug, we'd love to be that person for you if you want us to be. So let's log into the OPM's website and go see their FEGLI Calculator. So we're jumping over here to the OPM FEGLI Calculator website. See how we're putting in here. We're going to do option A, option B times 5, option C times 5. Calculate. Come down here, do next. So here it tells you 100,000. We got 612,000. 100,000. I guess $102,000 of basic. Where is that? $102,000 of basic, $1,632 a pay period. Option B, $500,000. It's costing you $50 a pay period. So in total, $67 a pay period. Make sure you're realizing that it is per pay period. It's not monthly. It is per pay period, not monthly. So come down here. Here are the differences in prices. So at age 50, option A goes from $1 to $1.80. I mean, that's a 80% jump. So I mean, it's not a huge dollar amount jump, but it's a big jump. Come down to option B. So up here, option B is costing us $50 a month. When we come down, when you turn, $50 a pay period. Now at 55, you can see it jumps to $90. If 50 went to 100, that would be doubling. So 50 to 90 is a big jump. And then when you turn 60, $90 a pay period, going to $200 a pay period. That's, I mean, more than double. We got, 240 going to 200 goes to 240, 70, 430. These are all per pay period. So while working, option B can get silly expensive. And then, option C also goes up in price. So let's calculate coverage when we retire. If you do no reduction, option B times 5. Option C times 5. Now option A automatically has a 75% reduction, and so that will go away. So now in retirement, remember the FEGLI Basic costs $16 a pay period, which is about $35 a month. So while working, it was $35 a month. If you retire and you pick no reduction, it's going to jump to $229 a month. I guess, so for basic for no reduction, so actually it's $35 plus $229, $264 a month just for that $102,000. Okay, standard kind of goes away. There's no cost after 65. And then the B here, so it's now turned into monthly, but it's gonna be $433, $520, $931, $1,900. 31, I mean 80 and over, and still maxed out option B. So it's really expensive, really expensive. So here we go, we got $602,000. That was what the basic and option B was. And so you can come over here, these are different health classes. So, preferred tobacco or tobacco, man, tobacco costs a whole lot more. But lots of times we're replacing FEGLI with 20-year term. And so you can, non-tobacco 20-year, $350 a month, stays the same the entire time. It never goes up. The whole 20 years all stays the same. Over here, if you have to be preferred non-tobacco, $215 a month, stays the same all 20 years. So let's look at FEGLI Basic at age 60 when you retire. The basic costs you $264.86. And then option B at age 60, $433.50. So that totals $698.34 per month. And then when you turn age 65, you'll see the basic goes down a little bit. It goes from the $264 down to $229. So a little bit of a savings. But at age 65, you see that it now costs $520 a month for the option B. So that totals $749.50. And remember, every 5 years this goes up. Where over here you could be paying $215 and it stays the same. So the entire time stays the same. So is this something you may want to look into? Generally speaking, term is good for 20 years. It's good for 20 years, then it stops. And you don't have it in year 21, you're not paying for it in year 21. That's a lot of time what FEGLI is. FEGLI covers you while you're working, and at retirement it gets so expensive people cancel it. So FEGLI can be replaced with term life insurance. Make sure you get an approval. Make sure you have your policy in force before you cancel FEGLI. So make sure you have your policy in force. Here is how do you reduce your FEGLI. SF 2817 is the I want to get rid of FEGLI form. And so you can come sign the correct spot that you need to you can remove it at any time. You can only add to it during open enrollment. You can remove it at any time. So if you want to get it outside policy, get it in force, you can come fill out this form 2817 at any time. Can you use your life insurance death benefit while living? There are benefits that FEGLI doesn't offer. Watch this video to learn more about it. If you want help with your retirement planning, go to christycapital.com and click Talk to an Advisor.